In this video, we're going to be exploring the geography of Guatemala, starting with its landscape, then moving into natural resources and hazards, and finally taking a look at the climate and vegetation zones. So, let's get started. Guatemala is located in Central America and shares borders with Mexico to the north and west, Belize to the northeast, El Salvador to the southeast, and Honduras to the east. Its western border follows the Sierra de las Minas mountain range, which separates it from the lowlands of the Yucatan Peninsula. To the west, it drops down to the Pacific Ocean, while to the east, it rises to the towering volcanoes of the Central American volcanic arc. The country's diverse geography encompasses everything from Pacific coastal plains to rugged highlands, tropical rainforests, and towering snow-capped volcanoes. We'll start by looking at its physical geography, beginning with the landscape. Guatemala is a small but topographically diverse country. It can be divided into 5 main physiographic regions: the volcanic highlands, the central and southern Sierra Madre mountain ranges, the tropical lowlands to the east and west, and the narrow coastal plains along the Caribbean and Pacific. Let's zoom in and take a closer look at each of these regions. First, we have the volcanic highlands, which are located in the western part of the country. This region is dominated by 3 large volcanoes, Fuego, Acatenango, and Santa Maria, which are among the most active in the country. The highlands are characterized by steep slopes, deep valleys, and fertile soils that support agriculture, especially coffee plantations. The region is also home to Lake Atitlan, one of the most beautiful lakes in Central America. Moving to the east, we have the Eastern Highlands, which are formed by the southern extension of the Sierra de las Minas mountain range. This region is less densely populated than the volcanic highlands and has a more rugged terrain with deep gorges and fast-flowing rivers. It is also home to some of the highest peaks in the country, including the aptly named Tachimulco volcano, which stands at 4,220 meters or 13,089 feet above sea level. Next, we have the Central Depression, which is a lowland area located between the volcanic and eastern highlands. This region is characterized by rolling hills, flat valleys, and a more gentle topography compared to the other 2 highland regions. It is home to the country's largest city and capital, Guatemala City, as well as the Tikal National Park, an ancient Mayan city that is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Moving to the west, we have the Pacific lowlands, which are narrow coastal plains that stretch for about 160 kilometers or 100 miles along the Pacific Ocean. This region is characterized by swamps, lagoons, and flat, marshy terrain that is prone to flooding. Despite the challenging terrain, the Pacific lowlands are home to several important cities, including Puerto Barrios and Champerico, as well as the country's main Pacific port at Santo Tomas de Castilla. Finally, we have the Caribbean lowlands, which are broader and more extensive than the Pacific lowlands. This region stretches from the Belize border in the north to the Honduras border in the east, and includes the entire Caribbean coast of the country. The lowlands are characterized by dense rainforests, fast-flowing rivers, and black Caribbean beaches. Some of the important cities in this region include Puerto Cortez, Livingston, and Rio Hondo. Next, let's take a look at how Guatemala's landscape has been shaped by tectonic activity. Guatemala is located in one of the most seismically active regions on Earth, the so-called Ring of Fire, which stretches from Chile through Central America and the southern United States all the way up to Canada and Japan. The reason for this activity is the convergence of three major tectonic plates: the Cocos, Caribbean, and North American plates. The Cocos and Caribbean plates are moving towards each other and subducting beneath the overriding North American plate. This process creates a lot of pressure and energy, which is released in the form of earthquakes, which can be quite strong and can cause significant damage in Guatemala and the surrounding countries. In addition to earthquakes, this activity also leads to volcanic eruptions. Guatemala is home to 37 volcanoes, of which 19 are active. These volcanoes are located mainly in two arcs, the Middle American Volcanic Arc and the Eastern Volcanic Arc. The most active volcano in the country is Fuego, which erupts almost every year. Other famous volcanoes include Santa Maria, which had a major eruption in 1902 and killed thousands of people, and Pacaya, which is known for its frequent lava flows. So far, we've looked at Guatemala's landscape and its tectonic activity. Next, let's explore the highland and lowland regions. The highlands of Guatemala can be further divided into the volcanic highlands in the west and the eastern highlands in the east. As we mentioned earlier, the volcanic highlands are characterized by steep slopes, deep valleys, and fertile soils. The region is drained by several rivers, including the Samale, which flows into the Pacific Ocean, and the Paloquic, which flows into the Korean Sea. The eastern highlands are less densely populated than the Shi-Wudsi-Denthi volcanic highlands, and have a more rugged terrain with deep gorges and fast-flowing rivers. This region is drained by the Motagua River, which forms part of the border with Honduras. The lowlands of Guatemala can be further divided into the Pacific lowlands in the west and the Caribbean lowlands in the east. The Pacific lowlands are narrow coastal plains that stretch for about 160 kilometers or 100 miles along the Pacific Ocean. They are drained by several rivers, including the Paloquic, which originates in the eastern highlands and empties into the Caribbean Sea. The Caribbean lowlands are much broader and more extensive than the Pacific lowlands and cover a significant portion of the country as territory. The region is drained by the Motagua River, which forms part of the border with Honduras, as well as several other rivers that flow into the Caribbean Sea. Now that we've covered the landscape, let's move on to natural resources and hazards. Guatemala has a wealth of natural resources, including fertile soils, forests, minerals, and water. The country's fertile soils support agriculture, which is an important part of the economy. Forests cover a significant portion of the land area and provide timber and other forest products. Minerals such as nickel, iron ore, copper, and lead are mined in Guatemala. The country also has significant water resources, including the Usumacinta River, which forms part of the border with Mexico and drains a large portion of the country's territory. However, Guatemala faces several environmental challenges, including deforestation, soil erosion, and climate change. Deforestation is caused by factors such as agricultural expansion, logging, and mining. Soil erosion is a problem in hilly and mountainous areas where it is exacerbated by heavy rainfall and deforestation. Climate change is affecting Guatemala in various ways, including more frequent and severe droughts, floods, and extreme weather events. Let's now look at the different climate zones found in Guatemala. Guatemala has a variety of climates ranging from tropical to temperate to mountainous. The country can be divided into three main climate zones based on altitude and distance from the equator. The first zone is the lowland tropics. This zone is found in the Pacific and Caribbean lowlands and is characterized by hot, humid weather year-round. Temperatures range from 25 to 30 degrees Celsius or 77 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, with high levels of precipitation. The wet season occurs from May to October, when the ITCZ or Intertropical Convergence Zone brings daily thunderstorms and heavy rainfall. The dry season lasts from November to April and is relatively drier with less rainfall and higher temperatures. The second climate zone is the temperate zone. This zone is found in the central and southern Sierra Madre mountain ranges and is characterized by cooler temperatures and more moderate rainfall. Temperatures range from 15 to 25 degrees Celsius or 59 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit with two distinct seasons. The dry season lasts from December to April and the wet season from May to November. The amount of rainfall decreases as you move further west. The third climate zone is the mountainous zone. This zone is found in the volcanic highlands and the eastern highlands and is characterized by cooler temperatures and higher rainfall. Temperatures range from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius or 14 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit with a wet season that lasts all year. The amount of rainfall decreases as you move further west. In addition to these three main climate zones, Guatemala also has a coastal zone along the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. The coastal zone is characterized by a tropical climate with high humidity and temperatures around 25 to 30 degrees Celsius or 77 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. There are two seasons, a wet season from May to October and a dry season from November to April. Finally, let's take a look at the vegetation of Guatemala. Like its climate, Guatemala's vegetation varies depending on altitude and proximity to the coast. The country has four main vegetation zones: tropical rainforest, cloud forest, pine oak forest, and grassland. The tropical rainforest is found in the lowland tropics and is characterized by tall, dense trees and high rainfall. Cloud forests are found in the mountainous zone and are known for their misty, cloudy conditions. Pine oak forests are found in the temperate zone and are characterized by pine and oak trees. Grasslands are found in the dry areas of the country and are used for grazing livestock. Well, that wraps up our exploration of the geography of Guatemala. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment below. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.